Was good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building, man. And today, I first just want to say thank y'all so much to anybody coming through, the Rich Gang, as well as any new supporters who are showing up. Today, I got a really special video lined up for y'all. I got the top 5 best rare lockdown builds on current gen, y'all. So y'all already know that I'm going to be bringing that heat. But before we get into the actual making, man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new to the Rich Gang family, as well as any new supporters. I would appreciate if y'all smash that like button right now, as well as turn on post notifications so y'all can catch me in tomorrow's video as well. Now let's go ahead and get into the making of this build. Go ahead and put it under the point guard position. Now you can try to make it out of the shooting guard as well, but again, it just comes down to which way and which stats you like better. Then from here, go ahead and put it under the pure lockdown red pie chart. And then when it comes to the physical profile, y'all, I like to pick one that is going to be most balanced, and as you can see, the one right here with the 95 vertical, 91 speed, and 90 acceleration is going to do it for me. So let's go ahead and get into these stats now, y'all. So the first thing that you want to be sure about is following along exactly as I am doing. Any particular stat that looks like it can be changed, I have it there for a certain reason, so go ahead and leave it as is. As you can see on the finishing side of things, we actually get 8 finishing badges. Then when it comes to the shooting, we actually get 3. On the playmaking side, we're going to be able to get 9. And then when it comes to the defense, we are actually going to be able to use the rest of these stats on this particular area. So we're going to be able to get 26 defensive badges, y'all. As you can see, the setup is really nice and balanced. If you want to feel free to change it, go ahead and do so, but you do risk changing the build name. So again, when it comes to the body shape, with my preference, I'm going to go with burly. You could even go with build. When it comes to the height, I'm going to be going with is going to be 6'8". Now, when it comes to the weight, this is really optional, but again, whatever you are comfortable with, feel free to do so. Now, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the wingspan. As you can see, this is going to be a huge thing when it comes to this build. You want to be sure to get it just right to where you want it. So with my preference, I'm honestly thinking about somewhere between 89.0 or going anything a little bit lower than this. It just comes down to what you are comfortable with. But as you can see, the stats on the physical side still remain really solid. And as you can see, the 2 takeovers we get are going to be the lockdown and the slashing. And as y'all can see, we have made the shot blocking guard, y'all. Now let's go ahead and get into the second build that I got coming at y'all, the 2-way shot creator. Now this build, honestly, I'm telling you, super rare on current gen. We might see this build a lot on next gen, but on current gen, this build is going to be something completely different. Something that I really like about this build is, of course, we get to add the defense to this build, but it still remains a really solid asset when it comes to the offensive side if you are going to be one running this build. But again, when it comes to any rare lockdown build, as well as any rare build in general, you are going to be taking a couple minor hits when it comes to the breakdown of these builds, but it's alright, because y'all know when I bring y'all these builds, these are going to be fire, the best, the latest, the greatest. Y'all already know that I got y'all. So go ahead and put this build first under the shooting guard position. Now, when it comes to the skill breakdown on the pie chart, if you were thinking correctly, you probably thought so. I'm going to be going and picking the one split right down the middle with the defense and the shooting, y'all. Now, when it comes to the physical profile, you have a couple different options, but with mine, I truly feel like it's going to be best to pick the one right here with the 85 speed, 83 acceleration, and the 83 vertical. Now, as you can see, when it comes to the finishing side of things, we actually get 3 finishing badges. On the shooting side, though, we are going to be able to maintain anywhere from 16, 17, or even up to 18 badges on this build. Whatever you like, honestly, it's going to be completely fine. But with my preference, I'm going to leave it at 16 badges. I feel like that's going to be really safe. Then when it comes to the playmaking, as you can see, we're going to be able to get 13 badges right here. And when you come to the defense, y'all, we get even more badges out of this category compared to the first 2. Now, 19 badges on the defense, y'all. Gonna be really solid. Y'all already know that I told you I am not going to be bringing y'all any builds that are not going to be usable. When it comes to this build, you have to be going with 6'2". When it comes to the weight, you might as well go with the lowest. But again, there are a couple different ways that you can go about making it. It just comes down to what you like the most. But as you can see, everything that goes into this build is really solid. We get the lockdown takeover, shot creating, sharpshooting, as well as the playmaking, y'all. Whatever y'all want to pick, it's up to you. But as y'all can see, we have made the two-way shot creator, y'all. Now, this one you are definitely going to be wanting to stick through. The third build that I got lined up is going to be the 3D wing. Now, with this build, you get everything that you're going to want. You're going to be able to shoot. On top of that, play elite defense and guard anybody at ease. So again, I want to say that I truly appreciate to anybody coming through, as well as sticking through watching the entire video. If you are still watching, go ahead and comment down below right now between the first two builds. Which one do you like more and which one do you see yourself using? In my opinion, I truly feel like that two-way shot creator might be the way to go for me. But now let's go ahead and get into the third build that I got set up for y'all, the 3D wing. Now, if y'all know of the rebounding wing, if you remember this build that I dropped for y'all, you already know that this build is heavily going to be related to that build. So go ahead and put this build under the small forward position, of course. And then once you get down to the pie chart, what you want to go ahead and do is pick the one split right down the middle with the green and the blue. Then when it comes to the physical profile, you got two options here. Go ahead and pick the fourth or the first one. It really comes down to what you like. Now, let's go ahead and get into these stats, y'all. So, when it comes to the finishing side of things, we are actually going to be able to maintain 4 badges on the finishing side. And then when it comes to the shooting, we actually are able to get at least 18 badges, y'all. Don't raise anything when it comes to the mid-range shot. You want to leave it as is. But when it comes to the playmaking, we are actually going to get a good amount of badges here too. We get 6, but then when it comes to the defense, the part we're all waiting for, we are actually going to be able to get some pretty solid stats here. So, we end up getting 17 badges, but honestly, look at the perimeter defense, lateral quickness, the steal, and then we are also going to be able to add some rebounding to this build. So honestly, in my opinion, there is no weakness when it comes to this build. What you want to go ahead and do when it comes to the height is put this build at 6'5". You get a huge boost to all of your stats. Then when it comes to the weight, go ahead and put it at 181. And then at the wingspan, what you want to go ahead and do is lower it to where you can get a 76 ball handle. And that is going to be able to get us those pro dribble moves at 99 overall, y'all. Now, we get the lockdown takeover, also get the sharp shooting, playmaking, and last but not least, you cannot forget the shot creating. As y'all can see, we have made the 3D wing. Let's go ahead and get into the fourth of the 5 builds that I got lined up now. We got the shot blocking wing. A lot of these builds are honestly going to be super rare names, super unique as well. You are rarely going to see these builds in the park. That is why I'm going to be bringing them to y'all. Of course, y'all know I cannot leave the rare builds out. I got to show some love to them. But like I'm showing some love to them, y'all got to go ahead and hit that like button right now if you are still watching. Let's go ahead and get into the making of this build now. Go ahead and put it under the small forward position. Then from here, what you want to go ahead and do is pick the pie chart that is split right down the middle. 50-50 with the defense as well as the shooting. Now, when it comes to the physical profile, y'all, this is all based on your preference. You can pick the first one or the fourth one. With my liking, I honestly can say the fourth one is going to be a much better one overall when you take a look at the stats. Now, when it comes to the badges, on the finishing side, we are actually going to be able to maintain more than the previous builds. We get 7 here. Then when it comes to the shooting, you already know that I am not going to be leaving y'all hanging here. So you could get 16 to 17 badges, even lower it to 15 if you want to. Then we are going to go ahead and skip the playmaking side of things, but that means we leave the rest open for the defense, y'all. 21 badges on the defensive side. You can make this adjustable if you want to. You can even get 8 on the finishing, and then on top of that, the shooting is still going to be very solid, especially for a current gen build, y'all. Now, the setup right here is honestly, in my opinion, super nice because you are not going to have to worry about handling the ball with this build. You are actually going to be able to play a lot of on-ball defense with this build as well as guard any archetype. So honestly, in my opinion, that is what I truly like about this build. And the height is really adjustable. I'm going to be going with 6'9". When it comes to the weight, what I feel like is going to be best is honestly somewhere around the 200s range. And then when it comes to the wingspan, y'all, pretty much, if you want to go with the best, go ahead and max it out. Then from here, if you want to go ahead and make a couple different adjustments, you definitely can do so. You can max out the weight, but then again, you change the takeovers, y'all. Then if you change the height as well, you get a lot of different things with this build. So again, like I said, There are a couple different ways that you can go about making these builds. It just comes down to what you want to risk for what you want to get, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and leave it like this, and the takeovers we get are the glass cleaning, lockdown, and of course we get the slashing. I'm going to go ahead and leave that option up to y'all, but as y'all can see, we have made the shot blocking wing. So we've got one final build to get through. If y'all made it this far, I appreciate it. Go ahead and drop a like right now. I would highly appreciate that. Go ahead and spread the word. Let's get it out to the Rich Gang family so everybody can make these rare builds. But man, if you made it this far, before we get into the last build, I truly want to say thank y'all. Be sure to hit that sub button because y'all know I'm coming with y'all at that fire every single day. But man, the last build that I got set up for y'all is going to be the 3D guard. Now, I have brought y'all the 3D wing. Now it's time to get into the guard version. Let's go ahead and put it under the shooting guard. From here, what you want to go ahead and do is pick the pie chart that is going to be split right down the middle with the defense and the shooting. Then from here, what you want to go ahead and do, you already know, we have a couple options to pick from. You could pick the first, or you could go ahead and pick the fourth. It really comes down to what you like. With my preference, I am going to go ahead and pick the fourth. I love getting that extra vertical on these builds. Then when it comes to the badge setup, what you want to go ahead and do is max out the first 3 categories, then put up the standing dunk to a 38 to where you get 3 finishing badges. Then when it comes to the shooting, go ahead and put the mid-range shot to a 75, max out your 3-pointer and your free throw, and put the post fade to a 55 for 16 shooting badges. Go ahead and max out the pass accuracy and ball handle, put the post moves to a 30 for 11 playmaking badges. And on the defensive side, we maintain 20 badges, y'all. So this is a really nice setup, especially for a rare build. Definitely going to be able to lock some people up on defense, and on top of that, it's going to be able to score at ease. Now, when it comes to the height, weight, and wingspan, feel free to change anything that you want, but again, you can follow along as well. There are a couple different ways that you can go about making these builds. I'm just trying to lead y'all in the right direction. Now, when it comes to the wingspan, of course, I feel like it would be best to look at the max wingspan with that lockdown takeover, or you could go ahead and check out what it's going to look like when you lower it, and then from here we will be getting that sharpshooting takeover. So again, whatever you want to pick, it's all up to y'all, but I'm going to go ahead and say that I truly appreciate everyone who stuck through this entire video. 12 minutes in, let's go ahead and finish it up now. The 3D guard is what we made, and man, I just want to say thank y'all, man. There's nothing more that I can do to show y'all my appreciation other than grinding every single day, putting these bangers out. But man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new to the Rich Gang family, as well as any new supporters. Go ahead and drop that like button. I would appreciate it. It helps me out so much. Be sure to turn on post notifications as well so y'all can catch me in tomorrow's banger. And last but not least, go ahead and share this banger with your family and friends, y'all. Man, with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.